Now we are talking about, we are going to talk about the scope and lifetime of the variables. Observe here, friends, in the understanding of user-defined functions in the earlier session, we have seen just a definition and then function name, and we are having the argument list, and there are certain values we can use inside the function definition. Now we are going to talk about what is the scope of these variables. Friends, here scope in the sense whether they are only available within the function or they are available outside the function. Okay, what is the resolution of those kind of variables, which is very important, guys, in the programming technique. So we are having two scopes basically in the Python, global scope and as well as the local scope. If I'm talking about the global scope, a variable is a global variable if its value is accessible and modifiable throughout the program. So no matter whether inside the corresponding module or whichever, suppose I'm writing a program with 1,000 lines of the code, and if any variable is there where I can modify at any moment, then that kind of variable are comes under the category of the global variables. So global variable is something like which is available throughout the program and handle the convention of all those modifications and changes you can do without any problem. So global variables, as the name implies, they're having the global scope. Okay, but whereas the variable that is defined inside a function definition is a local variable. Suppose in a program, I'm having function one, function two like that. We are defining function one and variable a inside the function one, and that particular variable is not available for other functions. Such kind of the variables are known as the local variables. So the lifetime of the variable refers to the duration of its existence. Maybe in terms of the global, I can say throughout the program, whereas in terms of the local, only with respect to that particular function call only I can access the variable. That is a local kind of thing. The local variable is created and destroyed every time the function is executed, and it cannot be accessed by any code outside the function definition. It is pretty clear, guys. Like suppose if I am defining any variable a inside the function one, and after coming out of that particular scope and we are calling another function, this variable is no more actually. This variable is not available outside of this particular function. Whenever you are entering into the function, the local variable alive, and it is going to you can access that variable. Whereas if you are coming out of that particular function, you are calling one more function, then this variable is not going to available. So local variables inside a function definition have local scope and exist if the function is executing. Only if the function executes, then only we are going to get the local variables. Now let me give you the example, guys, so that you can easily grasp what I'm talking about. So just if you are referencing this particular local and global scope, we'll move to our favorite Jupyter notebook, guys. Just if you refer this example, so scope of the variables, just I'm making use of the message as a function, and a inside the function I am defining a variable a, print value of a, and just we are returning the value and printing that value. So immediately it is printing that value 10. As a value, just we have assigned as 10, it is obviously giving the value 10. Now second thing is if I am printing the after getting this one, after coming out of this particular function, I'm trying to get the variable a. Then obviously, guys, it is showing that name a is not defined because after completion of this particular function, just I am making use of the calling of this variable. As in the example or in the discussion, we have seen that whenever you are coming out of that particular function, there is no availability of this local variable. There is no availability of the local variable. So if you are making use of any variable inside the function, only that variable is available with respect to that function only. Whenever you are coming out of that particular scope, then there is no possibility of getting the value. Okay, now you see, friends, it a slightly different genre of the global variable. What I'm doing here is b value I am defining before the function. B value I'm defining before the definition of the function, and A value within the function. So now both variables I'm printing A and B value. But now if you are considering the A value outside of the function, suppose if I'm printing this MSG, obviously the function is executing and we are going to print the A and B values. Of course, B and A are available to that particular function where B is the global variable. Now, after completion of this particular function, again, I am calling print A and print B. But here the problem is, guys, you can get the, you can obviously it is interpreted, na? It is stopping that printing of A. Okay, just if you are making use of the convention, like if you run through, obviously you will be getting the global. But whereas at the moment I am printing this A, just you see here, it is not getting that. First time it is printing print A and B. Now next time, as first you need to clear this A, then only you can move to the B. Or else first if you want to print B, and then if you want to print A, let us see that. Okay, now we got the 20 because that B value is 20. First it got printed as the Python is interpreted based, but A is not accessible to this method, this particular printer, because A is the local variable, so that we cannot name A is not defined like that Python given the error for us. So that is a distinction among the local and global variables. And one more thing, guys, here enclosing variables are there. Enclosing variable in the sense, see here, this is of course global variable, and I am defining a function which is known as outer function. And here I am using the variable 1 equal to 10. So until the outer function scope, just I am having the variable 1 in force. Again, within the outer function, we are having one more function, friends, here. This is variable 1. Okay, so this var1 is having 15. This var1 is having the 10 value. Okay, now what I'm doing here is I'm printing my local variable var1 inner function. Okay, which is available with respect to this particular inner function. Obviously, I'm getting the value 15 latest. Whereas again, I am calling the inner function. Okay, the same function. Now I am calling this local variable outer function. So if you call this inner function, friends, if you call this inner function, and I can access this variable 1. Okay, local variable outer function. Obviously, I'm getting this 10. Okay, I'm getting the 10. Of course, friends, we know that, okay, if I'm taking the outer function, obviously, if I'm printing the global variable, no problem. So all these three variables are having the same name, but the scope is different. The scope is different. First time, if I'm printing the local variable, this is printing the immediate value 15. Second time, if you are calling, just it is printing that this value, variable value as 10, because we are calling the outer function. See here, outer function value, variable 10, and global variable, of course, though we can access variable and 1 in the inner function, variable 1 of the outer function, these two values are not been printed. The global variable, because we are out of these functions, we are out of these outer and inner functions, and we are printing the variable 1. Now this particular syntax, if you observe, guys, this F is a formatting of these things where you can print the string along with the values also, whatever the variables I am having. Okay, so again, moving back to our presentation. Okay, just a minute, guys, so that you can have a look on this. Okay, again, you can reconnect. Okay, just now we have seen these kind of the conventions, lifetime of the variables, and examples already we have seen, global variables also. Okay, local, enclosing, and global variables. Okay, so now in the next session, friends, as we are good to go with other kind of the functionalities, in the next session we'll see the function arguments, which is most important topic, guys. No matter whether you are preparing for exams or interviews, just this is the function arguments. We are having various functional arguments. All these kind of the conventions we are going to talk in the next session. Okay, meet you there. Thank you.